Hello, welcome back, AG Sports. Thank you for the support, guys. As always, I'm going to be making these videos a lot quicker as we are now into the preseason and getting into regular season. I'm going to be coming at you with, 5 to 10 minute videos instead of, 40 to 50 hour long videos. So, first one here is going to be for a preseason pick. It's actually two picks, but one is more of a lean. You don't necessarily have to follow me on. What am I saying? You don't have to follow me on anything. So the Patriots are going to be playing Washington, the Washington football team, generic team. This actually Thursday, so tomorrow. And as of right now, the line is Washington -1.5 with an over/under of 35.5. Now, a couple things I want to go over with that. So one, just some comments on the game that have been made so far, and this is actually from Ron Rivera himself, was that they are going to be leaving their starters in the game for as long as needed. And specifically Ryan Fitzpatrick, he wants to leave him in there until he is quote-unquote comfortable with the offense, which to me screams, we're going to leave that guy in there until he scores. And it wouldn't make any sense to have him in there by himself. It's not really helping them any to see him, pass the ball to Diami Brown and a bunch of other rookies. They're going to have the rest of their guys in there at least until they score. At least in my opinion, that's what I read. Unless it gets really ugly really early, I see them leaving those guys in there to get a score or two. Now, at the same time, the Patriots, you might think, okay, Bill Belichick, he knows his team. He doesn't give a shit about preseason anymore. They don't necessarily need it. That's kind of what I thought too, but surprisingly enough, in the last 3 years that there were preseason games, so basically excluding last year, the Patriots are a total of 7-5, and they're actually 2-1 in preseason openers. Ron Rivera is 3-0 in preseason openers. Now that was with the Panthers, but this is more to prove a point that these guys actually do care about preseason, or at least care about the first game. And so, with all that being said, my lean is that Washington is going to win this game. It is going to be important for Washington and for Ron Rivera to not only make sure that he gets the win, but that his team is comfortable, that they're looking good, that they kind of have their kinks worked out, or they're starting to get worked out with at least their starting team, because obviously this is first year for Ryan Fitzpatrick, and he wants to kind of get that as smooth as possible before it really matters. One other note as far as a comment that was made, and this was by Jack Del Rio, the defensive coordinator for Washington, is that he's going to be aggressive and blitz often. So that might not sound like a whole lot, on paper, but two things about that. One, the defense will usually show out in the preseason, and the reason for that is there's not really any incentive to not do that. On the offensive side of the ball, you're trying to maybe hold some secrets back, not show all your plays, not get too far into the playbook. On the defensive side, you're really trying to evaluate these guys. So there's no point in, you calling just generic like 4-3 defense every play and seeing these guys just kind of go through the motions. Like, no, you want to get there, you want to see them blitz, you want to see them at full speed against other teams and kind of get a good scouting report on these guys. So when he says he's going to dial up a lot of blitzes and he's going to be aggressive, I believe him. And on the Patriots side of the ball, I don't know how long they're going to have Cam in there, and if they're going to have Cam Newton in there at all. But if Mac Jones comes out and his first real NFL action is against a heavy blitz attack by Washington, it's not looking good. Now that may lead to some big play possibilities, and Mac Jones can hit some passes, deep down the field. But really, who is he going to be passing to, and how far down the field are they going to get? All that's to say, like I said, guys, my lean on this one is Washington -1.5. So I'm personally betting that. And for preseason games, I bet a half a unit. I do not bet a full unit. It's preseason. I have a strong feel about it, but it's still preseason, and you really, you're trying to predict what a coach is thinking or trying to do, or what he's going to try to work out. And really, all we're going off of is maybe past experiences with this coach, as well as maybe some speculation and whatever he's told the media. Aside from that, though, I do have another pick for you within the same game, and it's actually going to be to the over. So in preseason week 1, The average line for the last 2 years, and again, excluding last year, is about 34 points, 34 to 34 and a half. The average actual points scored over those same 2 years was 41 points. That being said, this line is actually starting off at 35 and a half, so it is a little bit higher than average, which kind of says, hey, they think there's going to be some scoring in this game. And why would they think that, especially with the Washington team, who is primarily a defensive team, and a Patriots team who was not really a big, high-scoring team last year? Well, if we go back through the history again with Bill Belichick and Rivera, and we see what they were doing in these openers. So, as far as Rivera is concerned, his last 3 openers, and again, remember he's 3-0 in preseason openers throughout the last 3 preseasons. He scored 27 points, 28 points, and 23 points for an average of 26 points per game. Belichick with the Patriots scored 24 points, 26 points, and 31 points respectively over those last 3 years, and he averaged about 27 points a game. So all that is pointing to something like a 27-24, 24-21 kind of game, something around that area. And while the defense with Washington might be coming hard at Mac Jones, he should be able to find some open plays down the field, keep the ball moving, and there's no reason for the Patriots or Washington to not be aggressive with the offense. Yes, they don't want to go, calling trick plays or going too far into the playbook, but they want to keep moving the sticks and see what these guys can do, what these rookies can do, and kind of put them in a position to show out a little bit, at least get some tape on them. So I have the over in this game at 35.5. You might be able to find it at 35 depending on your book. But either way, I like the over in this one, and I like it to go over by like a touchdown or so, something around like a 42 to 44 point total. That being said, guys, that's it for this one. I am going to be coming out with a lot of videos, or a lot more videos than I have been. Probably looking at something between like 4 to 5 videos a week. Some with picks, some with tips, some with just news, updates. So all kinds of stuff coming at you. But again, those are my 2 picks for week 1 of preseason. Actually, it's going to be tomorrow. So you might want to jump on these if you are listening right now. Have a great day. Good luck out there, and I will be back with you soon.